Hello, I'm Mathieu from Ludovox, and today I'm going to give you an overview of a prototype. It is called Time of Legends Joan of Arc. So no component is final, it may change before the final product, and for example the game mat here is not going to be a game mat, it's going to be hex tiles. So this is a scenario-based skirmish game for 2 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, and it plays for 45 minutes up to 90 minutes. This is a game about medieval, legendary, mythical France. And the folklore is going to be very strong, and I'm going to do my best not to take my French accent, which could happen, by the way. So in this game, you're going to try to meet the goals of the scenarios. For example, this game is a 2-player game, and one player plays as the Inquisition, and the Inquisition wants to kill a werewolf which possesses a village, and the werewolf wants to kill the hero, basically. So how will you play Joan of Arc? To play Joan of Arc, you're going to play as a skirmish game, but you're going to activate areas instead of units. So you're going to have these red cubes, and these cubes are action cubes. With these cubes, you may activate an area. So for example, in this area, we have a priest and a hero, and if I activate this area, the units could do stuff. So for example, the knight could move, and the priest could pray, or the priest could move as well. But I could not activate this area a second time. I could, however, activate this area to make my knight move forward, and so on and so forth. So that's the base mechanic of the game, but there are countless others to complement this. So the flow of the game is about doing that, but first we're going to flip a turn card. The turn card gives each player a number of activation cubes to put on their dashboard. Then we're going to choose a bonus from the river, so we have 3 different revealed bonuses. Players would choose one, and then we can move on to the activation phase. So as you can see, I can get colored cubes on with the river. So for example, I can get blue cubes or black cubes. What are they? So with the river, I can basically get these cubes or myth cards here. So the myth cards are special powers that you're going to be able to use. But to use them, you need to spend those black cubes, which are myth cubes. And you can also spend them to perform magical actions on the board, depending mostly on the scenario. The yellow cubes are experience, so you may level up your heroes. So for example, the hero can become level 2, but you have to upkeep your hero, because if you don't fuel his energy with experience, he's going to turn back to level 1. You have the green, pink, and blue cubes, which are dedicated to activating things differently. So for example, the blue cube is an interrupt cube. You can use it during the opponent's turn to interrupt his or her turn and to perform an action. The green cube is a cube for horsemen and mounted people, so you can charge, so you basically run and attack in one action. And then finally, you have the pink cubes. The pink cubes allow you to activate a unit even though there is a red cube, so you can activate an area again. In the activation phase, we're going to activate the units we want to activate. So for example, if I play as the wolf, I could activate this peasant to move him, and I could, for example, keep my spare cube for a later turn. So I have these storage spaces on my dashboard. Obviously, this is going to be a game about fighting units. So for example, if the hero and a villager who is possessed by the wolf are going to meet, they may fight. So how to fight? Let's imagine the hero activates his square, his area, and he wants to attack the citizen. So every unit is going to have stats, attack and defense stats, which are going to be tied to dice. We roll the dice, and then before resolving the effects of the dice, if the defender has shields, the defender for each shield can remove a die from the attacker. This means that you can remove successes. The dice may make units flee, may stun units, which eventually come back, or may simply kill units off. That's basically what dice do. So The players are each going to activate their units with the areas, and then once they are done, we are going to move on to another turn with another turn card, with a replenishing of the river, and then activating units again. And we are going to do that until the end of the game. So I'm going to tell you about this scenario, about how it works. So as I told you at the beginning of the overview, we have two factions. We have the Inquisition and we have the Wolf. So my werewolf is here, and he's here because he has taken the guise of one of the 4 citizens that you can see here. So these citizens, among them, there is one who has been chosen by the wolf, who is going to be the wolf, actually. So the Inquisitor has to find out what villager is the wolf. And to do so, you can interrogate peasants, which are under these gray tokens, but you can also gather clues. You may interact with the old village crone with questions. So you may interrogate her quite brutally or coax her into telling you things about the relics of the village or the werewolf and so on and so forth. But the choices are not always going to be positive for you because she might be with the bad guys maybe. And finally, you may interrogate them. If you interrogate them, you may know if they are the wolf or not. And the last thing that you can do to be sure that a citizen is the wolf or not is simply to try to kill that villager. If you kill a villager, a citizen, that citizen is going to be revealed as the wolf or not the wolf. If the citizen is innocent, you flip it on card and it's gone forever, meaning that the game will be shorter. And this is to the advantage of the werewolf. The werewolf will not be on the board at the beginning and will win if 2 conditions are met. Either time is out and the werewolf is still alive, or the werewolf kills the hero. If the hero dies, the hero has lost. And to do so, you have an array of solutions. You can move the citizens around. You can also go into their homes and find weapons and free packs of wolves, which are going to harass the Inquisition. And you can go into the chapel, pray, go into the crypt, and also summon the Old Witch. If you go into the crypt, you may do that action. That's basically it for the actions of the wolf, but you can also use the citizens as meat shields, obviously. As you can see, Time of Legends Joan of Arc is not a simple skirmish game. It has a rich narrative which is embedded into the mechanics, and tactical decisions are not going to be themeless ones. So the core box will have 8 to 10 scenarios which are going to bring a ton of replay value. So now you know almost everything about this game. Bye bye, see you on Ludovox.